What's cracking, guys? MOMMA'S here. You know I'm back with another video. First video of the new year. And I think it's very relevant because I know a lot of people are going to be setting goals, their New Year's resolutions, and I know some people come across, quite frankly, as tryhards. They go way too hard in the other direction where it's like, oh, if you wanted those goals, you shouldn't start on January 1st. Like you should have been starting weeks ago. And while I see some of their point, I think anytime you endeavor to try and make a change, I applaud you and I think you're headed in the right direction. However, from my experience training clients, training individuals, just watching people progress over time or not make progress, I have some very important points I would like to make for anyone that wants to improve their physical fitness for 2019. The first one would be that I think people set the end goal, but they don't have the journey or the steps in between on how to achieve that goal. And here's what I mean. Goals are actually harder to achieve than you'll realize. And the question that you should always ask yourself, and not to beat up on yourself, is why do you deserve this? Have you put in the time? Okay, so you want to bench 315. I'm making shit up here. 315, you want to build 15 pounds of muscle. Well, what are you going to do to make that happen? Why do you deserve it? Just setting that end point, so you have the start, you bench 225 now, and then the end point 315, that means nothing, right? Because you don't have an action plan. If instead you set up micro goals, so you have a stepwise fashion where you build a little bit of positive momentum. So you set a more short-term goal where instead of 315, you want to hit 245 by, let's say, March 31st. You have a timetable, you have an action plan, you've figured out what you need to do. Now it's not only a goal, it's a journey, it's a path that you're headed towards success. So the first mistake I would say is that people just set arbitrary goals without really fleshing it out what it means. And I think when people, athletes, individuals talk about visualizing success, what it really means is going through each step. And so when I say that goals are harder to achieve than you probably realize, think about how much effort it's going to take in order to achieve that goal. It's more than most people think, but also the reward feels even better. So I say it takes more work than you think, and it'll feel even better when you achieve it. So I encourage everyone to stick with it. But that's why I say, why do you deserve to achieve these goals? What are you going to do about it? It doesn't matter what your goal is. What matters is the path that you're on towards that goal. So my first big tip would be not only to set goals, but to build positive momentum. And that's why when I say that goals are trickier to achieve, you need that positive momentum, that affirmation that you're headed on the right path. So recently I hit 315 on the incline. Pretty much now when I go for any PR, it's a given. Why is it a given? Because I've checked points along the way. Oh, I hit 245 for 10 repetitions on the incline. That's an all-time PR. Oh, I hit 275 for a super long pause, and now as I get an RP7, yeah, I'm headed on the right path. How most people try and go for goals, it's emotional. They base it on their emotion rather than it being calculated, and so they're not methodical. And here's what I mean. Oh, I want that 500-pound deadlift. So I'm going to deadlift throughout the year. I don't have any of those checkpoints, those rep PRs, those RPEs. I haven't figured out any of that stuff. I'm just going to get really hyped up one day and go for it. And then you miss it and you feel like shit. Training is about building that positive momentum. So have a stepwise fashion towards trying to achieve those goals. Make easily achievable metrics for you so you build confidence, and consistent, intelligent progress will happen. You need confidence when you tackle weight. And that's maybe the last point I quickly want to make. While I did say goals are tricky to achieve and all that stuff, Professor Shako had a great piece of advice on his Instagram where he said, an athlete will succeed only when the athlete truly believes there's no other option other than to succeed. And so if you want to make a goal happen, don't just make it kind of, once again, a lofty idea. Yeah, it'd be nice to lose 20 pounds. It is something that absolutely must happen and something that you visualize. Don't punish yourself, don't be masochistic, but set it up where it's an inevitability in your head. And that's when I talk about positive mindset or positive thinking. That's really what I mean. It's not that hokey shit, like you can do it. You need to feel it in your bones. And how do you feel that in your bones? Positive momentum. Anyways, I've been a trainer for years and years, trained hundreds of clients. Hopefully this helps you out towards your goal. If you're not currently satisfied with what's going on with your physique, with your progress, with your training, take a good hard look. Don't blame your genetics. Don't blame outside factors. Instead, take ownership and think, what can you do differently? I hope 2019 is your best training year yet. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you liked the video, like the damn video, and I'll see all you guys, my rascals, in that next one. Peace.